Trusting God when your life is chaotic or your life seems not to go as planned could be very, very daunting. I've had so many times where I have cried, where I've questioned if truly I was not making a mistake or if truly this was the right path for me. There were so many times I needed clarity so bad. I needed answers, but all I kept hearing was, hold on, wait. One thing we believers should know is that our loyalty would be tested. Our commitment to God, our love for God, and our fear for Him would be tested. We spend most of the time, I would say, oh, Jesus, I love you. I fear you, Lord. It's going to be tested. It's going to be tested in not so good times. It's going to be tested in bad times. It's going to be tested when everything's bright and gloomy. But just know that our faith basically is going to be tested. The earlier we realize this, the better for us. Our faithfulness to God would eventually be tested. It's just a matter of time. So as a young girl in my 20s, I just completed a NYC program. I've had so many plans. Even before I went for my service, I mapped out things. I really know what I want. Started planning. I've been praying. I've been asking God, give me clarity. I mean, what am I to do? I have a lot of things I want to achieve. So even when I was posted to, you know, a place where I did not really like it. I was just like, you know what, God has planned. I didn't really like it because I've had so many plans. That is me jumping ahead of God and planning for myself. I've done that a lot. So I actually plan my life before I go to Him and say, okay, you know what, God is a plan and let's follow. And you know that God is not someone that would just follow wherever He goes. If you say you are His child, He'll say, okay, no, I know the best for you. Why don't you want to submit to me? I already told God, Lord, the place I'm going to be posted to is where I'm going to work. I'm going to be retained. I'm going to like the place and everything. So I was expecting the big cities, you know, big places, fine places like maybe the Abuja or Lagos or somewhere that can just thrive. I just felt that from that time should be my takeoff. Like my life has started already. So things has to be happening. Things has to be going the way it should go. Eventually, I got posted to a place that I considered relocating from the place, and I was a little bit disappointed. But then I was like, okay, you know what? I mean, God has great plans, and I kept on going. I never knew that God was just teaching me and just bringing me to a place of total submission to Him. Right, so it started there. Again, I got in there too. I said, okay, I'm not gonna slack, even though this place doesn't look like what I want to be or doesn't look like where I want. There's no problem. I again went into planning again. I just get into this planning mode. Again, this is not to say we should not plan our lives. This is not to set goals. This is not what I'm trying to say. You should know as a Christian, like when your plan and God's plan is not aligning, there's going to be a contraction. Because definitely, God will give you a pause. If your plans again may not necessarily be bad, may not necessarily be out of covetousness, greedy, or of our ambitious, it may just be what God doesn't want for you at this particular time, or God just want to teach you one or two things. It may even be that you're not even prepared for it. Now God knows, and God knows His child. It may just be a couple of so many reasons. It's okay. So I got into planning again because I used to be a teacher. I already knew I would not want to be in the teaching space anymore. I decided to take some tech skills, register for certification classes. I was up and doing, right, during my 1 year NYC. I was always agitating. I was asking God, you know, what is it in for me? What is it? You know, what next? What next? And the point I actually submitted to Him, all I thought I submitted to God because I was okay. You know what? If you want me to stay in this place where I'm posted to, I will stay. I will be okay. I'm gonna say there's no problem, but just tell me. Just tell me. I was always looking for answers. But this is not to say that God is vague. God doesn't like to tell His children things. You know, God will always tell me, okay, do this and wait. So some of the things He will tell me, okay, do like this, do like this. I said, oh, okay, okay. I wasn't expecting things like that. I was expecting big, big things, like especially those things that I really wanted in my mind. And when things doesn't go the way I think it should go, right? I easily get burnt up and frustrated. Trust me, I was doing everything, all right? I was praying, I was declaring the scriptures over my life, but there's just something I didn't do well. Because all this while God was just telling me, okay, relax. But I wasn't having it. I was stressed. I was disappointed. So that was what I said in the beginning. Our loyalty and everything would definitely be tested. But our obedience would be tested. And so it happens and it happens that I went through back and forth. I would always, you know, other times I would complain. One more, I would complain bitterly and just, you know, this life and everything and everything. It was back and forth until God really helped me with the help of the Holy Spirit. And I realized that this is not how things go. But then I really struggled to trust Him. I really struggled to let go and let everything. I see most of the times I will pray, the answers are already there. But another thing too that we Christians need to do away with, you know, I mentioned complaining. I'll be giving some tips as I'm sharing my story, is doubt. Doubt kills the power of God. It's like an insult to God when you are worried, when you fear. Yeah, one thing I did a lot was fear. I was basically scared for my future. I wanted everything to go well. How is my life going to be when I'm done with NYC? Am I going to return back to my parents' house? When the NYC time was almost running, or when I was like 9, 10 months done, I was panicking, agitated, I was fearful until, you know what, God said, okay, I've had enough. That was how I started letting go. I started letting go. And then I looked back at my life and I realized that I have never actually let the Lord take control. Even though I said I trust Him, even though I said I believe Him, even though I say, oh, I serve a living God and all of that, I have not really let Him take control. So different scriptures of the Bible were exposed to me. Holy Spirit taught me of how, yes, He owns my life. All right, the creator of it is going to sustain it. So I should not take no thought for the future, take no thought on what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to wear, that God has already taken care of it. This times I complain, oh God, I need this. Or this times I'm worried about this and worried about that. What thing has been done? Nothing. Nothing can ever get done by complaining, murmuring, fearful, agitation, doubtful, and all of that. Nothing. All of that kills the power of God, kills the flow of God, kills the flow of the Spirit in your life, the move of God in your life, because God wants to help you and you're telling him no, especially with doubt. So that was it for me. I started to let go. I had to note the things that easily makes me go back into fear, easily makes me lose hope. I had to note the things and bring out the things that easily makes me fearful. Right? So I'm talking about how I was able to conquer my struggle of trusting God. I wrote it down, my fears to God, a number of things that easily makes me fear, that would shake my faith. I outlined them and I submitted it to God. This was a practical step that I did. I legit wrote these things down. Like the worst that could happen to me that will make me distrust God, that will make me begin to question. I wrote it all out and I gave it to God. And I told him, Lord, these are the things and more. Like if you see what I wrote, I'm trying to tell God that even if these things happen, oh Lord, by your grace, I'm still gonna trust you. By your grace, I'm not gonna fear. I'm not going to be moved or shaken because I know you got me. So another thing I do is declare the scriptures. I talk about the Lord. I talk about the goodness of the Lord. I talk about the power of God. All right. I meditate. I get new scriptures. And I try whenever things comes that, oh, I want to distress me, just by the grace of God, I try to remember his promises. I try to remember that God doesn't fail. By the grace of God, no matter how my life is, no matter how I've not been able to achieve my dreams, like no matter how slow things are for me, I am not moved. I count it all joy that the Lord is testing me. The Lord is trying to prove my faith and loyalty to Him. I mean, we should count it all joy and pleasure. Yes. Remember how the apostles, they counted it all joy and they were happy when they were being persecuted for Christ because they had a privilege. Like, wow, so I'm this important for people to persecute me. Like, the Lord really see me worthy to be persecuted for Him, to go through these things for Him. That's my fear of my story, and that is how I'm able to overcome it, and I'm overcoming it daily. Daily, the Lord is helping me, and the Lord is helping me trust in His word. The Lord is helping me trust in His promises, and by the grace of God, He's going to keep all of us. So, for those of us that are really struggling with trusting God, and that life is so bad, life doesn't go as planned, like things are so slow for you. Maybe all your mates that you started together, some of them are probably married, some are out of the country, like they are basically living the life that you want. Just believe and trust God's timing. Rather, we should spend time asking Him to give us faith. We should strengthen our faith in Him. We should take away our unbelief, think that no matter what, we will not fail. Because it's so easy to say, "Oh Lord, I love you. Oh Lord, I trust you." But when things comes, because when I was going through all of that, I kind of had a break from God. Like I was not serious, and they were like, "Wow, this is how these situations now determine how I'm going to serve God." Like I had to talk to myself. This is how my life is going to be. And when things happen, I'm going to be relaxed. Okay. So is this how I'm going to serve God? This is the back and forth I want to go with God. This is how I'm going to let situations, problems, or people, or geographical location, or whatever determine how I'm going to serve God. So please, when you're going through this, just ask yourself this question. Problems going to determine how you're going to serve God or determine how you're going to show faithfulness to Him. Like God put us in place and situations for us to show faithfulness to Him. And again, like I said, you should count it all joy that we are being tested of our faith. I hope this video really brings value to you and I encourage you, all right, to stay strong and firm in your faith no matter what is going on. So please, I want you to like this video, subscribe, comment, share your own experience, and turn on post notification bell so you'll be updated whenever I post a new video. Bye for now. See you in my next video.